that time of year again, guys. We are going over the ultimate guide to keeping a journal, part 5. Hey, what's up, Refusers? Clark with Refusing to Settle. Love this, can't wait to share it with you. Going over how to set this up if you are new, you have no experience, and you've never kept a journal, or if you're someone who's been following this series for the past couple of years now, and you have some more experience, you're a more experienced journal nerd, and you're using it already to transform your life. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the setup, exactly how, the step-by-step process of what I recommend, what I do with my journal every single year. If you like this video and you're ready to get started, make sure you give it a big thumbs up right now. Get that like bar up, it helps us out a lot. Also, if at any time you want more content, you want more tips, exercise, what you actually write in between, go to mybestjournal.com and unlock the entire start to finish My Best Journal program. Thousands of students in that, you get a community group as well. Let's turn this bad boy around and get some good content going, but first, a little too formal for Christmas, so let me do something. 3, 2, 1, there we go. Grinch onesie, how you doing? All right, you guys, welcome. First ever video in a onesie, so there's a first for everything. Ultimate guide to keeping a journal. We've been doing this for 5 years now. It's our little Christmas tradition. Our Christmas gift to you is that we release this. And so what I like to do is keep a journal for the entire year. And just a quick little 1 minute soundbite so you know what you're doing and if this is for you before we actually get into setting it up. I won't blab on about the reasons for journaling and all that stuff because we just did like 7 videos on it, so just watch the playlist if you're curious. So this is the tactical stuff. Now a quick little rant. So we do this every year, and how I like to do this is so you swap it out fresh at the beginning of the year no matter what. Okay, so even if you make it halfway, doesn't matter. Even if you fill it up, okay, and you can start a little one, doesn't matter. Even if you have like 5 pages, doesn't matter. Every year is its own thing. That's the only thing I'm really OCD about, guys. Because then what happens is each one of these becomes almost like a photo book for that year. Like yearbooks, remember those back in the day? And you can look back and be like, oh my God, I remember that so well, or not at all, or I can't believe I looked like that. Like, it's the same thing with your thoughts in here, okay? So this is a time in your life and you seal it and you move on. So you can go back through and coach yourself, get all the insights. Now, let's get into it. This is a Pentalic sketchbook. There's nothing fancy about this. You don't need any fancy journals, no pish posh, but again, whatever you prefer, go with that. So if you like rules or ruled sheets, go with that. I like this because it's paper sourced from sustainable forests, and I'm kidding. I just like this because it's cheap and it's badass and it's hardcover. Take this wherever you go, and so it's gonna get beat up. You can see like the bindings on this journal is always coming off, you know, by the end of the year. So wherever you go, this goes too. And so this is the 11.5 by 8, or 8.5 by 11, excuse me. It's 110 sheets, 70 pounds. I don't know what that means. Yeah, there's nothing fancy. I think this is $10 on Amazon. I'll link it in the description below for you. Second thing, you write your name and the year. So obviously this is 2018 or 2019, so we are writing that. Then you're ready to move on to the front and back covers. This is what the completed one looks like from last year. So Clark Kegley 2018. This is what I'll explain to you first. So 32,850, that is the amount of days you and I have from birth until 90 years old. It's not a lot, you know, it's $1 for every day alive, 32,000 bucks. Prop money. I was having too much fun with a different video. And so what I like to do is write down the amount of days I have till 90 left in the front cover of my journal. And it's humble because it goes down 365 every single year. So I have about 23,000 right now left. So what you do is you just multiply your age by 365, and then you subtract that number from 32,850, and that gives you your time until 90. And so this is always a reminder in the front of how many days that time is ticking, and that should motivate you to, you know, not slack off, to really go for it, balls to the walls if you want to achieve it. You know, Steve Jobs said that facing his own mortality, realizing he was going to die one day, is why he was able to do what he was able to do with Apple. So I am the Steve Jobs of Apple in a Grinch suit right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So your front cover, how you're going to use this year, is this side is just like more analytical stuff of who you are, and this side is like what you've learned. So these are the biggest lessons of this year. Now this is really cool, right? Because if I go back through to 2017's journal right here, you can see I have big lessons and what I was learning right there, okay? It's super fun to look back on without having to flip through your entire journal. You can kind of summarize it for yourself. So this is pretty much done. It's really simple right now. But I might write like my signature strengths over here, big quote over here, and then all the quotes that I want to learn I'll put on this side. Now we're going to go to the back cover. Okay, so I mentioned the front cover was what you were trying to incorporate. The back cover is what you're trying to put out. We've went over goal setting videos recently, so I'm not going to do a goal setting workshop right now. Go watch that video if you want to know exactly the kind of goals. Go watch that after this video. This will make a lot more sense, but I'll show you. These are like some of the past goals. Okay, so this is what it'll look like. You'll have work, rest, and play right here, and these are your big goals. This is the most important section, I think, in your journal. And then you write them in this. So I'll do that now. Okay, so once you've done that, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm just going over the bare bones here, and what you're gonna do after this video is go through and fill it all in. So I'm showing you how to set it up. So your back cover, you have your big 1% goals for 2019. Work, rest, and play. These are the three areas you're gonna put your goals in. Now it's like a triangle, right? And if any one of these areas is off balance, meaning too big or too small, the entire triangle is lopsided. So you need to track your goals in these three areas, okay? So to stay balanced. If you have too much work but not enough play and rest, well, you're gonna be burnt out, okay? If you have too much work and not enough play, you're gonna feel like you're just grinding and this sucks, I wanna leave. And if you have too much rest and not enough work, you're gonna feel like a sloth. So there's always some trade-offs there. And I've found that life, when we're balanced, that's when it's really best, okay? I'll give you an example of a completed one after this, obviously. So here are challenges and courses, events you wanna do for that year. Again, any of this is optional. You don't have to do everything verbatim for what I do. But I like putting challenges there. So 30 for 30 challenge, what we're in right now, like doing 30 videos in 30 days. That's a good challenge. Or if you want to meditate for 100 days straight, okay? Or maybe you want to work out every day for 50 days or something like that. Maybe you want to make $10,000 in 1 month. Maybe you want to increase your run time or something like that that's going to like inspire you to have some fun, because challenges are fun. You know, like as arbitrary as running a marathon is, you know, training for it. Now all of a sudden you have something to get you motivated, a why, if that makes sense. Even if it's just to check off a box, it's a cool little, I find it pretty rewarding. Courses, events, so this year I'm going to, I got 3 booked already. I'm gonna be traveling a lot for work and you guys are coming with masterminds and seminars and events and whatnot. So put those down here, any that you want to go to. So I'll show you a completed one right here. Just focusing on the goals section because this is all still kind of rough. So I don't know if you can see, let me zoom in. All right, so here's kind of the goal section right here. So this is the play section, the rest section, and then I don't know if you can see the work section right there. All right, and I'll link up those videos about the goal setting workshop if you want to do it for this year. Now's the fun part, okay? So you set up the front cover, your back cover, you got your journal. Now we're gonna choose 5 sections, okay? 5, 6 maybe sections that you're gonna put inside your journal. Because you're like, all right, well, I just have covers, that's like 5 sheets. What do I put in the rest of the 90% of this journal? And I'll go over it now. So I like to make each section about 20 pages. And so what I've done here is I've doggy-eared them for our convenience, so you don't have to watch me count like 20 pages. But just know, like in between here, it's about 20 pages and this is considered 1 page. All right, so you're gonna break your journal up and now you have 5 different journals in one, instead of just one giant journal where it's a mess and you can't find anything, it's disorganized, you don't know where to write stuff. I don't think that is fun. I don't like that disorganization, and I'm a psycho, so I like to break it up and put it in the journal really neat and clean. And sections are a way I found to do that. So, what do you write in these sections? Great question. I'll show you mine, and you'll see me do it in the setup video. But I just want to say here that there's no right, there's no wrong, okay? And over the years, as my journaling practice has evolved or devolved, depending on how you look at it, my sections have changed. And this year, guys, it's strictly It's like 90% business. That's what I use my journal for. It's business and self-growth, really, because my business is self-growth. But a lot of people, for you, if you don't have a business, it's going to be way, way different than if you do. So for great examples of sections I've done in the past, a growth section. Okay, so maybe in this section, you just write down all your biggest ideas. Or if you were reading a book, you put it in here. Or if you saw a YouTube video, you could put it in here, okay? And you journal on growth stuff. There's a brain dump section. So, you know, if shit hits the fan, things aren't going well, you want to like vent or whatever, do a brain dump section. There's a business section. So maybe you just are starting a business. You want like a 20 pages of something this year to like work through those ideas. It's a great one too. Maybe you could have a relationship section if you're working on that or learning or anything like that. Maybe you have an insight section where you write the top 1% insights that you learned, like these golden nuggets that you want to incorporate. Maybe you have a book section where you can summarize books, the best 10 ideas, all that stuff. I had a video notes section once. So if I'd watch like documentaries or videos or, you know, blogs or whatever, like I'd put it in this section just to keep it more organized. You could have a travel section. So the years where I've gone to like Thailand or Vietnam or whatever, I kept a travel journal in this journal where every day I would write like bullet points on what I did. Okay, so I'd have like 10 bullet points a day. And then when I look back on that, it's almost like a teleport back to that experience. Really, really awesome. So there's all these different strategies. We talk about it in depth and how to use them in the My Best Journal course. But that, hopefully, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's set it up now. This is the worst R ever. So courses and students, so what are you learning this year? What have you learned as a student? What courses are you going through? So, you know, I'll show you an example. Look, here's an example from like Autoresponder Madness, a course I went through, and I just wrote some of the big ideas, big points. Another course I went through, the Brendan Bouchard Business Accelerator right here. So just drew some of his charts and diagrams that I can look back to and summarize. All right, so stuff like that, when I'm going through online courses, that's where I put it. If I'm also learning anything through like coaching, or if I have a coach or a mentor, I'm putting it here. Next up, we got funnels, internet marketing. I've talked about this on my channel before with sales funnels, business funnels, marketing funnels, and all that stuff. So any new knowledge about that I get here, I put it in here. Any ideas when I'm sketching out my funnels of like sales pages and structures and all that stuff goes in here. Mostly like my products that I'm working on. Things like Video Breakthrough Academy, My Best Journal, Passive Income Kingdom, Accelerated Questions, 30-Day Coaching, Transformation Toolkit. Like I got a lot of stuff. So I sketch it all out in here before I start building it. Kind of the carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. Next section. Now I'll go through and I'll scribble it in and make it look a little nicer. This is the Refusing to Settle YouTube channel. Okay, so I'll sometimes brainstorm ideas on the go. I do a lot on my laptop now, and I might make a video on the transition to that. I still do majority in analog journals. On the go stuff, or I need a quick little session about YouTube or ideas or inspiration, or I want to like plan out some videos or maybe script something. This is where I'll write it down in the Refusing to Settle YouTube section and the business section as well. Brain dump section. This is where you go when stuff isn't always going right. You know, it hits the fan and you need a place to vent. Now, this isn't a diary. That's not what we're doing. That's not the style I teach. But this is more processing. You know, I like to say you never leave this session of a brain dump without asking one question. What advice would I give someone else in this exact same situation? Okay, because then you can start giving advice, look for solutions, and not just worry about your problems. The goal with the journal, guys, in general, this is a success journal. Okay, this is not designed to make your problems smaller. It's designed to make your success bigger. That's the whole point and why we do this. So you want to set up your journal to condone that stuff. But that's a small section. It's probably 10 pages. Last section is freedom. This is anything goes in this section. Okay, so if you have like a weird hobby you're researching, but you don't want to dedicate a whole section to it, you can put it here. I've had conspiracy theories in the past. You know, I like those. So I you know, maybe I'll watch a good conspiracy doc and I'll write down the, you know, why there's gray people living in the center of the Egyptian pyramid, or, you know, how chemtrails are going gonna kill us all, or something ridiculous, but it's fascinating to me. So I put it in there, like I was getting my hunting license. So when I was researching for that class and learning about, you know, field dressing animals or whatever, like crazy stuff. It could be anything in there. Maybe you know, music in something. You have an idea for a band or songs or anything like that. Like your freedom section is random and anything goes. That is it, guys. That is the ultimate guide to keeping a journal. Hope you like that. That is how I'm setting up my 2019 journal. And I can keep you updated along the way. Got some other videos I want to do on some more trackers and tools in that. So if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe down below, and make sure you watch the Ultimate Guide to Keeping a Journal playlist. It'll have years, you know, 2017, 2018, 2016, 2015 in there when I explain things and put a lot more freaking effort in than I do now. Just kidding, but you won't get the Grinch suit in those. All right, guys, happy holidays and thanks for watching. My Best Journal is in the link below. If you want to join our community, we'd love to have you. Till next time, stop settling, start living. See ya.